My name is Ava. So the Giant Dipper opened in 1924, May 17th. And today is May 17th where we're filming it. It's the Giant Dipper's 100th birthday! Yay!
What are the movies that Giant Dipper was involved in?
Some of the ones that I've seen that the Giant Dipper's been in is Us, the horror movie. That one's really good. And then my personal favorite is The Lost Boys, which is like an 80s vampire movie. It takes place right here on the boardwalk, and it's a lot of fun. So I rode the Giant Dipper back in September of 2012. It was a long time ago. I used to be deathly afraid of roller coasters. My parents put me on Space Mountain, and that was not good. But my grandpa, he loved this place, he loved coming here, so he wanted to get me on the Giant Dipper. And at first I was like, no. But after I rode it, I was just like, oh my god, this is literally the best thing ever. Literally the best thing ever. And that basically sparked my entire love for roller coasters. It's why I travel, it's why I love roller coasters, and it's why I'm here celebrating the 100th anniversary. I felt like it'd be wrong of me not to be here on this day. How old I was about 7 or 8 years old. It was September of 2009 when I rode it for the first time. My grandpa wanted to get me on the roller coaster even though I was absolutely terrified of roller coasters. But when I rode it, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the coolest thing ever. And it got me into roller coasters. It's the reason I travel today, and went from scared little 7-year-old to now I'm 22, and I just absolutely love it. It's the best thing ever. Oh, my favorite ride here that's not Dipper. That's a very good question. I have a couple. I'll at least list a couple. The carousel, that's iconic. I love the cave train. Double shot's really fun. Undertow's cool. But Dipper's my favorite. Dipper's my favorite. My favorite piece of history of the Giant Dipper. Okay. Probably just the fact that it was constructed so fast, like 47 days. I guess that's not terribly uncommon, but I feel like that's very efficient for the time. And I think it's just really cool knowing the fact that the Giant Dipper and the boardwalk has stood the test of time over the course of major historical events, multiple wars, the Great Depression, and being in California in the Bay Area, earthquakes as well. So I think that's all just really cool, interesting facts about that.
Talk a little bit about Arthur Loof.
Arthur Loof. He was the designer of the Giant Dipper. And if Arthur Loof, that name sounds familiar, it's because the carousel towards the other end of the park was built by his father, Charles Loof, hence the Loof Carousel. It's a family generation at this park creating amazing rides. It's totally cool. I am very excited because this is something that I told myself when I was 8 years old. I was like, I am going to be here on the anniversary, on the 100th anniversary. And here I am. I made it. And this is why we're celebrating with our party hats. Stay in school, don't do drugs, be a good person, and ride the Giant Dipper. If you haven't ridden the Giant Dipper yet, you need to come and ride it now because it's fantastic. Literally some of the strongest airtime I have ever felt on a coaster this old. It's ridiculous. It's so good. Right in the front because good airtime there, right in the back because there's good airtime there, right in the middle because there's good airtime. No matter where you sit on this, it's literally so good. It's the reason why I love it.
I don't really remember the first time I rode it. It was sometime back in like 2008 and 2009. I actually wasn't a roller coaster enthusiast yet. I hadn't even been on my first upside down roller coaster before I'd ridden the Giant Dipper. So I don't want to say Giant Dipper kind of like broke the mold for me to become an enthusiast, but it definitely helped pave the way for that. Probably the fact that it was built for under $50,000. To put that in perspective, in current day, cars cost more than that. So to build an entire roller coaster that lasts for 100 years for under $50,000, that's pretty impressive. Ooh, my favorite ride at the boardwalk besides Giant Dipper has to be the 1911 Louvre Carousel. Just for the fact that when you spin around, you grab for that ring machine, aim for the clown's mouth, and you make it occasionally. Not all the time, but when you make it and the sound goes off, it's really exhilarating experience. My favorite part of the boardwalk's got to be the food. The food's here incredible, from deep fried cheesecake wrapped in a tortilla to deep fried PB&J. It's all across the board here. Yeah, so the Giant Dipper is actually special for ACE because it has two ACE landmark statuses. It has the ACE Golden Age Coaster Award and the ACE Landmark Coaster Award. The ACE Golden Age Landmark is designated to roller coasters that were built in the 1920s during the golden age of roller coasters. Then later on, ACE dedicated it as a national roller coaster landmark. And then in 1987, it became a national historical landmark along with the carousel.
Hi guys, I am Austin Cloud. I am a filmmaker, photographer, and roller coaster enthusiast. I'm actually the one making this documentary about Giant Dipper's 100th anniversary, and I want to talk a little bit about it. So, Giant Dipper opened May 17th, today, all the way back in 1924, officially making it 100 years old, and the oldest roller coaster in California, being shortly followed by the Giant Dipper at Belmont Park over in San Diego. That one is going to be 100 next year. So my first time riding the Giant Dipper was actually back in 2010. I came down here with my uncle who actually works at Great America as the master carpenter. And so he would walk the Grizzly all the time, and he would come down here and operate on Giant Dipper. So I came down, let's see, was 10 years old. No, I wasn't. I was 20, I was 11. No, I was 11. Okay, I was 11, and it scared the shit out of me. It was very fun, but it took me a while to realize that this coaster is 100 years old, and it's supposed to be a little bit janky. It's supposed to be a little bit rough. Other than that, though, it's such a fun ride, and I've been coming back here for photo shoots. I've been coming back here to shoot video. I've been coming back here for a lot of reasons to the boardwalk, and realistically, it's such a fun place to come. It's such a great place to take pictures, to ride rides. You know, it's always a good time here, and it's just a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. I thought about making this video a while ago. I thought about making this documentary short back in like January of this year. And for me, it was more so about being able to get people who are really passionate about Giant Dipper and this park and talk about how the ride impacted their life. And who better to talk about that than Ava? Ava herself, Giant Dipper is like her favorite roller coaster, and she loves it so much. It is an absolutely fantastic ride. And the boardwalk itself, not even just Giant Dipper, the whole boardwalk, all of this area of Santa Cruz has incredible history, an incredibly long history, from involvement with Disneyland. Walt Disney came here several times to get inspiration for rides. When they had the old car ride for Autopia, Walt Disney came down here to check out the car ride and went ahead and used it for inspiration for Autopia. Came down here, did a lot of fun things with the boardwalk, got a lot of ideas for Disneyland. So just the history alone of this park is incredible. And the fact that Giant Dipper is the oldest roller coaster in California is insane. It's really cool. The fact that it's 100 years old now, has had millions of riders, is such a testament to how strong the coaster's foundation is, how good the history is, how well the boardwalk takes care of Giant Dipper. There they go right now behind me. But they really love this coaster. The locals really love this coaster. If you ask anyone from the Bay Area, this is the most iconic roller coaster in California. I think it's this and then Santa Monica Pier, West Coaster, because of GTA 5. But this is easily top 2 iconic roller coasters in the state, and one of the most iconic roller coasters in the country. It's just such an awesome ride. If you find yourself being fortunate to come down to Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk to ride this, I would 110% give it a go. It is so worth it. It is such a good time. Come with your friends, come take pictures here, come take video here. Obviously, we're shooting a short film, so it's a pretty sick reason to come out and ride the most iconic roller coaster that I can think of right now. So, yeah, man, that's all I have to say about it, dude.